Hello and welcome to the Gingerbets Golf Betting Insights weekly YouTube video. We're back after a disappointing week, but we're still here and we're here for the rest of 2021. Unfortunately, last week we didn't get a winner. Not only didn't we get a winner, we didn't even challenge the places with much conviction. It was a disappointing week, but we're allowed those. We've got plenty of credits in the bank, I'm sure you'll agree. So we're going to move on to this week, where I'm previewing the BMW Championship taking place at Caves Valley Golf Club on the outskirts of Baltimore. It's going to be an interesting test. The players haven't seen it before. It is the first time that the PGA Tour have ventured to this track. That does leave us a lack of data to look at, but I've done some research ahead of this week's event, and I'm hoping that I can bring you some ginger snippets that might lead you to your own selections, and if in doubt, you can always follow the Gingerbets outright selections. For those of you that are new to the channel, then please let me give you an overview of what is coming your way week in, week out on the PGA Tour as I preview the week ahead. We look at a course overview and then we break down the course and look at the key skill sets that are going to be required to lift that trophy come Sunday evening. We usually concentrate on 5 of those, and then from there we build our outright selections and the best outsiders to consider. And if you're looking to get a piece of the action on all of that, and most importantly the outsiders to consider, where this year we've had winners at 150 to 1, yeah, that's right, 150 to 1 in Cam Davis, then please do subscribe to gingerbets.substack.com. The link is in the description below. And if you're liking this content, don't forget you can always subscribe, because 80% of you that are viewing these videos are not current subscribers. I'd love to change that and get our numbers up. If the content's not good enough, then so be it. But I'm hoping that you are enjoying the content week in, week out on the channel. Enough of that though, let's get into this week. So we're previewing the BMW Championship taking place at Cave Valley, like I say, on the outskirts of Baltimore. It's a first for the PGA Tour. So as ever, we're going to cover the 5 skill sets that I believe will determine the winner and those that are going to be successful come Sunday and challenge those place payouts. And I'm bringing you 3 outright selections and a first here at Gingerbets. It's not often, but I have someone at the top of the shop that I fancy to go close this week. And then on the back of that, I've got 2 mid-range selections that I'm extremely keen on, just as much as I am the player at the top of the market. So stay tuned, that's coming your way in the next 2 or 3 minutes. First up though, the skill sets required to be successful come Sunday evening. First off, I believe that strokes gained off the tee will be an important factor this week. The fairways aren't so wide this week and there are plenty of short holes, so those players that are gaining strokes off the tee are going to be at a distinct advantage in many ways. I also think that it puts less pressure on the rest of the game when you're flowing off the tee box, and therefore that is something that I believe you should take into account this week if making your own selections or following the Gingerbets ones. Second up will be strokes gained on proximity to the hole. The greens here are larger than average, and therefore if you're hitting it to a distant part of the green, far away from the pins, you're not going to have many birdie looks, and therefore I want players that have got good proximity stats in recent rounds heading my portfolio for the week, and that's what I'm going to be bringing you this week without a shadow of a doubt. The players that are coming your way are certainly dialed in with their irons. As I just touched on, I think that the players are going to have to hit it close and give themselves plenty of birdie looks this week. So therefore, I think birdie conversion rate and birdie and better conversion rate is going to be an important factor. Then I'd like us to consider the bent grass putting performance, which will be the 4th key point for the week. And then finally, I want to take into account total tee to green performance of recent times. I think it's going to be a low scoring affair, and those players that are dialed in with their overall tee to green game are going to be at an advantage over the field. So I've done that research and I'm bringing you that in the 3 outright selections that are coming your way in the next 2 minutes. First up, it's a first for Gingerbets, a first for myself in the whole of 2021, and that's why it's been a remarkable effort to turn out such a profit this year without picking any favourites. But this week, my headline selection will be the favourite for the golf tournament, and that is Jon Rahm. He's got 7 top 10s in his last 10 events. He's the most consistent player in world golf by a country mile right now. He's second in approach play stats and 6th in proximity over the last 24 rounds. Those stats are too good to ignore. If his putter was slightly hotter last week, I believe he'd have got the job done, and I think he'll want to get another victory and win this FedEx Cup if he can. Therefore, he will be the headline selection at 13-2 with William Hill 7 places. The second selection of the week is a player that has hit the post on numerous times this year. He was 4th at the PGA, I believe. He was 6th at Memorial and 8th at the Players Championship. I nearly forgot that, but he was 8th at the Players. He has performed and knocked on the door all season long. He's an outstanding player, a man from Ireland who's got a major under his belt, and I just cannot ignore the price of Shane Lowry this week. He will be the second selection, and he was nearly the headline selection. That's how confident I am about him. I think his odds are ridiculously this week, far too big in my opinion. So do take note, dial in, and don't be afraid to have a proper bet on Shane Lowry. And the same can be said for the third and final selection of the week. I'm really confident on these 3 this week. I do think that we've done this before this year, where Colin Morikawa is a player we've put up twice and he's gone on to win on both occasions. Abraham Ancer, I've been backing him plenty. Those of you that have followed the channel will know that we've done that throughout 2021. We finally got him over the line recently, and I think that he could go back to back pretty quick and get win number 2 in this elite field. I don't think it'll phase him, and let me just read out some of his stats. He's first in fairways found over the last 24 rounds. He's second in strokes gained approach play. He's 9th in par 4 scoring from 350 to 400 yards. There is not much not to like about that data, and therefore he makes up the portfolio for the week, available at 40-1 with Bet365, 35-1, 7 places with Paddy Power and William Hill. That's where I expect you to put your money. Take advantage of those extra places. They're worth it. Strictly speaking, mathematically speaking, that is the thing to do. Don't get greedy and go for those extra points on the outright win. That's it for this week, guys. I hope you're enjoying the content. If you are, please do subscribe on the link below and join the gingerbets.substack.com weekly email that's available in the description on this channel below. All the best with your wagers this week, and look forward to speaking to you for the final of the FedEx Cup playoffs next week. Over and out. Bye now.